Hello, thank you for checking out A1 Math, and today we're looking at modeling with functions. We're going to break down some word problems and write linear equations from them. So let's take a look at the first example here. It's got one already worked out, and it says to write a function for a situation, identify the independent variable and the dependent variable. So that's the most important part, trying to figure out what's independent, what dependent is. What makes the other thing happen? So here it says Nick earns $21 per hour. How much money will he make after he work 8 hours? So, I mean, the hours determine how much money he makes. So if he works 8 hours, he makes a certain amount of money. So the thing that happens first is the 8 hours. And then you multiply by this $21, which never changes. And then the total amount Nick earns, that's how you get that amount. So this will be your independent here. And this will be your dependent. And I should put independent variable. So that way you know what goes what makes what happen. Okay. Let's take a look at an example. Alright, it says here, identify the independent variables and the dependent variables. Okay, so Brandy earns $8 per hour. How much will she earn after working 7 hours? So whatever she works, the hours work is the thing that happens first. So if she works 7 hours, you're going to multiply it times 8, and that's going to tell her total amount earned. Okay, and that's essentially what we're doing. So what we want to know is what's the independent variable. Well, the independent variable is going to be the hours worked and the dependent variable is going to be the total amount earned. Alright, let's take a look at another example. Alright, so a cell phone company charges 15 cents per minute. Zach uses his phone for 103 minutes last month. How much would he be charged? So in order to figure it out, in order to get the total amount, we need to know the minutes. So the minutes is the independent part. So if he uses the phone for 103 minutes, you'll multiply by 15, and that'll tell you the total cost of what he has to pay. The independent would be the number of minutes he used. And the dependent would be the total cost. Alright, let's look at another one. Okay, so every serving of lasagna has 410 calories, and Ed ate 3 servings. How many calories did he eat? So to figure out the total amount of calories, you need to know how many servings he ate. So those 3 servings would be the independent. So you put 3 servings. Times 410, that's going to get you the total amount of calories he ate here. And the independent will be whatever number of servings he has. So that could change, but it's whatever number of servings is the independent. and the total calories is the dependent. It depends upon how many servings he eats in order to figure out how many calories he has. Okay, so how and why does this work in math? Well, basically, on our linear equations, we can use this to interpret a word problem and change it into equations and solve. So let me go back to the very first one here. So typically with linear equations, we use this y equal mx plus b. The x is the independent value, and the y is your dependent value. So to write this equation for y equals mx plus b, the independent is the hours, okay, and the dependent is the total amount earned, which can change. But the part that doesn't change is the $8. So that's what we would put in for m. Let's say y is equal to $8 times however many hours he works. So that'll be our equation. So let's say he worked 5 instead of 7. You would plug in 5 instead of 7 to get your answer. If we look at the other ones here, this would be y is equal to 15 cents times x. And this one would be y is equal to 410 calories times x. And notice there's no b on this, but if we was already starting with knowing how many calories already had, or you know, if there was an automatic fee that was included here just for using the phone, that would be the plus b part. And then once you get your equation set up, you can answer whatever question you need to answer there. But again, that's taking a look at modeling with functions. I want to thank you for checking out A1 Math, and have a nice day.